Alright, YouTube, it is your boy Magnificent coming back with another tech review. This video is going to be real fast because I'm basically going to show you a video comparison with the iPad 10.2 versus the iPad 9.7. Now, some people have been giving me flack, and I can see that from the first video, but keep in mind, I used to do this hardcore in terms of tech reviews, going back to the Galaxy S2, man, it's a while back. Remember when the iPad first came out, and then also the iTouch. I really did a lot of videos on that. So I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to do this comparison because I want you, the consumer, to understand and realize what you're buying before you buy it. So I hope you enjoy this. Your boy Magnificent signing off. So let's continue on here. So we're looking at the iPad 10.2, we're looking at the iPad 9.7, we're looking at both sides to see what the biggest differences are. Now, this is what I was kind of alluding to, because when you're looking on both sides, you can see that, at least from my opinion, I see that I don't have the Wi-Fi version, so this is kind of the network version with the 4G antenna. If I'm looking at the biggest things and why people upgrade from one device to another. Now, this is not just Apple, because it happens with Samsung or any other Android device, where you kind of have to do your homework before you invest your money into getting the latest and greatest technology. So the first thing people look at, usually, let's just start with the body. Right? So the body, we can clearly see that one's kind of outweighs the other, primarily because of the fact that one has a bigger screen. So I can see why it's going to weigh more. It makes more sense. But then when you jump down to the display obviously is going to have a bigger resolution for the 10.2 screen. Of course, they're working with the latest and greatest technology. But then you start getting to the heart of the devices, like the platform. So it says platform is iPad OS, and then you have first iOS 11.3, upgradable 12.4. That is what we're currently on, but as well as I do, iOS 13 comes out next week. Now, iOS 13 will probably be, at least the iPad OS platform will be available, from what I understand, for the 9.7 version and the 10.2, so I know people are looking forward to that. In addition to that, you look at the memory, and the memory to me is not that not that different, right? So you have 32 gigs internally for one, 32 for the other, with 2 gigs of RAM. And then you have that option to go to 128 gigs of memory, but then you have 2 gigs of RAM, and basically that just reflects and mimics what you see on the 9.7. Then you go to the camera, right? So the camera, you would think, okay, there might be a change there. Well, I don't see much of a change there, because you can see, and I can see, on the left-hand side, that's 10.2, the 9.7 is on the right-hand side, and they both have the 8 megapixel camera. And, it does do the same video rendering for the most part. And then even when you look at the selfie camera, it's the same specs. I mean, outside of that, you look at the speakers, that's pretty much the same. I do notice a difference with the whole battery. I think the battery, obviously, in 10.2 is going to be a little bit better than the 9.7, but not, from what I can see, not much. Actually, you know what? I do see 32.9 on one side and 32.4 on the other. But again, I still don't see enough for me that warrants, that says, you know what? Hey, let's jump from 9.7 to 10.2. That's the only reason why I said that in my last video. If it's worth to you, the consumer, if you wanted to upgrade, because quite honestly, from what I'm looking at, I don't know. I really don't know if that's enough. That's enough for me. I don't know about you. I know that's not enough for me to jump from one to the other. I feel like when the Apple iPad, at least the 11, that's probably going to come out next year, I think that'll be a good jump from 9.7. Maybe they might not make it 11 inches, but it'll be this 8th generation. I'm currently on the 6th, and I think the 7th just came out, just this month. So, your boy Magnificent, I hope I broke that down for you. You can always go to GSM Arena to look at most devices to see whether it's worth jumping from one to another, because let's face it, quite honestly, it's your money, right? And then at the end of the day, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. But for me, I would like for you guys to just, if you can, just determine whether it's worth the upgrade, because I would hate for you to spend your money unnecessarily. All right, so the way I see things, at least in the tech world, in the tech industry, is that they're filled with a whole bunch of bells and whistles. And again, this is not a knock to Apple, this is not a knock to Android, but when you're doing your homework, always look to see what is actually upgrading, because these are thousands of dollars. And I know Apple has a good trading program, Samsung has the same thing, but if it's not worth upgrading, I mean, if you want bragging rights, if that's what you're looking for, hey, go for it. Me personally, it's got to be worth it. And quite honestly, when 5G comes out, it's going to be a game changer. Game changer for anybody that has an iPhone that has 5G, a 5G antenna on the 5G network. And I can see why Apple did not really invest in money to pushing out a 5G phone this year, primarily because the 5G network is really not, it's not readily available, and it won't be probably till next year. And that actually will be a key feature, especially when you're going into next year with 5G technology, because a lot of people take these cameras that Apple does provide, and they do have the latest and greatest cameras that can take it's so in depth in terms of rich quality. The problem is because it's so good, it's amazing. It just takes up a lot of memory, and then now you're relying on the cloud to go back and forth between uploads and downloads just to get your photos and videos. And quite honestly, when 5G comes on board, I think it'll be a lot smoother, and you won't really have a problem taking long videos and then uploading that to the cloud and downloading from the cloud. And you probably have some better speed. So your boy Magnificent, I hope that was useful to you. Just make sure hey, come to GSM Arena, gsmarena.com, and you basically can compare yourself and see whether it's worth the upgrade or not. And I hope that helps. So your boy Magnificent, I am out. Look for the giveaway video that's going to be coming out maybe next week. I think next week. Should be next week. So if you're looking out for that, of course I got more shoes. I got more technology. You know me. I keep it diverse. Your boy Magnificent, and I'm out.